September is Suicide Prevention Month. It's to raise awareness to a public health crisis that takes the lives of millions of people each year.
Now, ABC 15's Amanda Kenseth is live for us in Conway this morning, speaking with a Florence man who's made it his mission to stop the stigma and talk about a serious issue impacting communities and families worldwide.
That's right. Yeah, Bob, talk about, you've got some big initiatives out there for suicide prevention, suicide awareness. Talk about some of the things that you've got going on.
Okay, well, suicide awareness is a crisis. We have to look at it and deal with it like that. And nobody wants to talk about it. And so that's to say, why in the world would somebody want to do something that nobody wants to talk about? Well, more people are dying on purpose than by accident. More of our military people are dying from suicide than from combat. So those are kind of alarming things to me, that people would take self-murder basically is what it is. But I'm living proof that we have no clue what the future holds. And I'll tell my story a little bit later probably, but anyway, I won't get into that one. But that's the thing, we're out, we're trying to bring awareness, we're trying to get people to start talking about suicide. It's a hush-hush thing. Everybody needs to be able to feel comfortable, break the stigmas that's on suicide, and just get people to start talking, to feel free that they might be able to share. It's not what you say to them. Everybody's wanting to feel like they got to be a psychiatrist to be able to talk to people. You know, they need to talk to you, and that's what we're looking for.
And giving them the comfort to be able to ask about it and talk about it,
right.
And hopefully that will prevent it, and that's what it's all about.
That's right.
Amanda, thank you.
Now, if you or someone you know is struggling, you can call the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. They're open 24/7, available in English or Spanish. Now, you can text or call 988. You could also go to their official website. We'll have a link to all of those resources on WPDE.com.
A Florence man is planning a big road trip to spread an even bigger message.
He's embarking on a cross-country awareness tour for Suicide Prevention Month. ABC 15's Amanda Kenseth is live for us in Conway this morning, speaking with the man behind the mission to end the stigma around suicide.
That's right, Bob, and you just have a new book out too. You are taking a tour, a statewide tour, and then a nationwide tour to spread awareness as living proof that suicide can be prevented.
Correct. Yeah, our new book actually just came out, and it actually covers 3 areas. We feel like that awareness is one of those major areas, and then the thing about it that probably there's some studies around the world, we've got hundreds of cancer survivor stories. We don't have any suicide survivor stories. So we include that in there. So we got a number of those in our book. And then training. Most people, I was doing a video the other day, and when we got through, we spent about an hour, I guess, talking about the video, and the guy said, bingo. We had a friend that took his life, and we got to talking about it later, and everybody agreed that he gave all kind of signs that he was going to take his life. Just right over their heads. I've done things where I actually went to people and talked to them, and I gave them maybe 4 or 5 signs that I was going to take my life. None of them picked up on one. And so we feel like that education, training is a major deal in this whole crisis that we're having with suicide.
Absolutely.
And families need to be educated. So we try to do that with our book, those 3 areas. Most people love to hear stories. You start connecting with people when you hear their story. And so that's why we included the book. In the book, it says suicide is preventable, but it is not predictable.
Not predictable, but giving those signs of maybe those cries for help that the people are giving, and knowing when to notice those and to try to help.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amanda.
If you or someone you know is struggling, call the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. They're available 24/7 in English or Spanish. You can text or call 988 or go to their official website. We'll have a link to those resources for you on WPDE.com. September is Suicide Prevention Month. It's a month to raise awareness to a public health crisis that takes the lives of millions of people each year.
ABC 15's Amanda Kenseth is live in Conway this morning, speaking with a Florence man who's made it his mission to help stop the stigma and talk about a serious issue impacting communities and families worldwide.
It's a serious problem, and it's all about getting the word out there and opening up and talking about it. And it's kind of like a reality check. We want to wake everybody up this morning. Listen. There we go. So you are raising money, planning a statewide tour and then a nationwide tour, but just by being out and about, you are calling attention to, I mean, this is, you know, it's eye-catching, and people come up and they want to see and talk about it and learn, and that's what it's all about for you, is getting the word out there.
Right. Well, that's actually the reason we bought it. I actually was looking for something. I said, what could I do that would get people to come to me? Because it's hard to go to people and start a subject like this because nobody wants to talk about it. And so just by having something like this, I've talked to hundreds of people, literally hundreds, maybe thousands. And so bringing an awareness to it, I just needed a little helper, and boy, it has really done that. Go to get fuel. My wife don't want to go with me anymore. It takes 2 hours. People want to take pictures, to ask questions, and it's totally custom built, one of the kind. So it kind of has a something that we can talk about. Every person born is one of the kind. No two hairs even match. And so this thing is totally custom built. And it's like a person in a sense. There's only one of them. The guy was asked to build a second one. He says, the guy who had this one built says, no, its value is in one.
One of a kind. And getting the conversation started, and that's what it's all about for you and for helping people just get that conversation started.
Amanda, thank you.
Now, if you or someone you know is struggling, you can call the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. They're 24/7, available in English or Spanish. You can text or call 988 or go to their official website. Now, we'll have a link to all those resources on WPDE.com.
A Florence man is planning a big road trip to spread an even bigger message.
He's embarking on a cross-country awareness tour for Suicide Prevention Month. And ABC 15's Amanda Kenseth is live in Conway this morning, speaking with the man behind the mission to end the stigma around suicide.
Yes, and Bob will be taking this around the state and the country, and quite an eye-catching rig here that, you know, just when you're out and about around town, people come up and talk to you, but when you go, you know, and do these tours, that will really bring in a lot of people, and you're hoping to really get the word out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, like we just did the car hauler parade in Darlington. They had a 2-hour event before the parade, and we were able to introduce our program to a lot of people of living proof and to bring suicide awareness to the forefront. And then we got to lead the parade over to the racetrack from the Florence Darlington Technical College, and so any time that we can, like today, thank you so much. This is great that we can cover so many people at one time. And so what we're trying to do is just raise the awareness so people will talk and get rid of the stigma. And so that's the basic premises of our project, and it has been very satisfying. But if we can save one person from taking their life, I feel like it's been successful. How much is a person's life? What's the value? And when we put it in perspective, is it your mom, your dad, your son, your daughter, brother, sister, whatever, then it gets very important.
Right. Yeah, saving lives is what it's all about. So, you know, keep an eye out for this rig, and your latest book has, you know, signs to look for too when people are giving that call for help. So just be aware and help save lives.
Thank you, Amanda.
If you or someone you know is struggling, call the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. They're 24/7 and available in English or Spanish. You can text or call 988 or go to their official website. We have a link to those resources for you on WPDE.com.